Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, I've just had a call from a trader friend of mine and I've agreed to buy something a bit unusual. I've never bought one of these cars before. What it is a late 2017 67 reg Skoda Kodiaq. Now, although I quite like the Skoda brand, I'm not completely au fait with the lineup. This sounds naive, I don't really know what a Kodiaq is. Maybe you could help me. I thought it was one of the smaller ones, you know, the one that's based on the Audi Q2 or the VW T-Roc, but I think that's the Karoq, not the Kodiaq. I'm not sure. Then they do something called a Kamiq. Like I say, I don't know. Ever since they axed the Yeti, I kind of lost a bit of interest. Axing the Yeti was a bit of a mistake in my opinion, but they obviously know best, so who am I to judge? Anyway, like I say, I've never actually bought a Kodiaq before, and this one is quite a good spec. So it's a 2-litre turbo diesel, which is quite a good engine. It's something like 190 horsepower. It's also automatic, so it's got that DSG box. And what else? What else do I know about it? Oh, it's 4-wheel drive. Seeing that Defender there has just jogged my memory. It's 4-wheel drive, so this must be quite a rare car. Now, I think, I could be wrong, but I think the Kodiaq is based on the Tiguan. So you got the Tiguan, the Kodiaq, Seat do a version as well called the Tobacco or something, Tarraco, I don't know. They all seem to make one. I think it's like an Audi Q5. So I'm not too sure what I've bought here. I haven't paid for this yet. I'll get an invoice for it in a couple of days' time, so I'm not too stressed about it. I've agreed £14,000, and when I loaded it on Auto Trader, it's got a suggested retail of 16.5. So it's got a decent retail margin of 2.5 grand, maybe 3 grand. It's been described to me as being a little bit scruffy, so I thought, well, this would be quite a good one to film. What does a little bit scruffy mean? Are we talking a thorough detail and valet, or are we talking, you know, full respray? Who knows? That's what makes this job so fun. I'm guessing, like everything, it'll need a service, an MOT, maybe a couple of tyres, brake disc and pads, who knows, but a little bit scruffy. I don't know. It could well be a bit horsey. You often see that with these kinds of cars, especially with it being 4-wheel drive, you know, Tiguans and stuff. They often have a horsey owner, which usually means the inside resembles a stable block. There's usually straw everywhere. Now, my colleagues picked it up for me from a local main dealer and dropped it off right there. That's actually quite a good looking car. Bigger than I anticipated. That's not bad looking. I know they're a little bit anonymous, aren't they, new Skodas, but it's not a bad looking thing actually. It's quite a high spec. I think, I could be wrong now, but I think that panel there on the grille means it's got radar cruise, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I think scruffy's a bit strong though. It needs a good clean, but I wouldn't say scruffy. Mind you, I haven't seen the inside yet. It's quite straight there on the panels. I'm rocking back and forth here, aren't I? So I should probably put my handbrake on. That's all right, actually. It's all right. I mean, it's going to have to be because I'm going to be asking 16.5 grand for this or something, so it's going to have to be all right. Right. As always, then we're going to check it out using Car Vertical. Now, like I say, I haven't paid for this yet, so I haven't done one of these. If there's a problem, I can always go back to the main dealer and say, do you know that was a Cat D? We need to renegotiate. So let's check it out. So it's really easy to use. All you do is go to carvertical.com, and I'll leave the link below in the video description, then type in the reg or the VIN. Now, in this case, we know the reg is Foxtrot Victor 67 Zulu November Juliet. Czech vehicle. I think they were the same three, actually, same three digits. Same three characters as the Touareg that I did recently. Anyway, that is a completely pointless piece of trivia there for you. Right, what this is doing now is currently checking database in like 35 different countries, so this will tell us a bit more about the car. It'll tell us whether it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. In addition to that, it'll show us the ownership changes, the reg plate changes, the MOT history, the market value, the spec, which could be quite useful really, because I don't know anything about that car. The Skoda Kodiaq is a car I know nothing about. So hopefully this will provide us with a really thorough check so we know a bit more about it. By the way, if you want to do one of these checks for yourself, and I urge you to do so before you hand over any cash for a used car or motorbike, use my promo code HIGHPEAK, that's HIGHPEAK all one word, HIGHPEAK, and you'll save yourself 20% off each and every check that you do. It's as simple as that. And look at that, the report is ready. So, view report. Ah, you see? This has proved itself already, hasn't it? So the mileage is fine, it's never been rolled back. But we do have an amber warning here for financial and legal status. So that usually means it's got an expired MOT or there's outstanding finance. So we'll have to dig a little bit deeper. There's no recorded damage. It's showing as 2 ownership changes. It's never been stolen, so that's good. The last known mileage was 82,000 miles. I was told it'd done 85 or 86. That was done in January this year. So it obviously has an MOT. So the amber warning there for finance and legal status isn't relating to an expired MOT. Like I said, I'm not worried because I haven't paid for it yet. Beware, this vehicle may have financial restrictions. So there's an outstanding lease on this car. So it was done for 60 months. That was in July last year. So somebody's taken out finance on it. I suspect it'll be an HP deal, that, because it's too old for a PCP. So someone took out a 5-year deal on it in July last year, and then 12 months later they've traded it in. Now, because I bought this from a local main dealer, I do have some backup. I'll call them and make sure they pay the finance off. I'll do that before I pay them for it, and then everyone's happy. But you see why it's really important to do one of these checks? Because to look at that car, you think, yeah, there's nothing iffy about that at all. Sure enough, outstanding finance. So the last known selling price for the car was £24,000. The average market value for such a vehicle is 18. Now, I was thinking this was worth, well, Auto Trader told me it was worth 16.5, maybe 17 grand. So maybe Auto Trader a little bit on the low side. Road tax there is fine. It's a Skoda Kodiaq, 2018 2-litre diesel, 190 horsepower, diesel automatic, 5 doors, 4-cylinder. We've got the spec there as well. Right, okay. So we know a bit more about the car then. It was last on sale in 2020. The ownership changed in 20 again. I wonder why someone took out a finance deal then in 24. That's weird. Unless someone's refinanced. Why would they refinance the car? That's strange. Anyway, let's have a look around it, shall we? Right, let's look around this Kodiaq then. See, it's not a bad looking car, is it really? It's grey. Needs a good clean. We've got either no rear privacy. I was going to say we've either got no rear privacy or a very light tint. It's got a Westfalia tow bar on it, so it could well be a bit horsey. Now, bodywork down this side, apart from being filthy, is pretty good. We've got its Skoda Rochdale plates. It's covered in dead flies, typical of this time of the year, but it's not too chippy. Not riddled with stone chips. Now we have got a Continental Premium Contact on this side, on about 3mm of tread. Brake disc look new, that's good. It has lived somewhere rural, this, by the looks of it. It's filthy, and we've got signs of horse manure or whatever it is, straw. Down this side we've got a Mazzini Verena. I think he played for Italy actually. That's on about 3mm of tread. Brake discs look all right. Don't look as good as the fronts, but they're okay. More straw and manure there. Look at the size of those rear doors. Be quite a good family car, this, wouldn't it? Moving around the back, we have got matching Skoda plates. Tow bar with single electrics. So it is a Kodiaq 4x4. You can see the parcel shelves there. That's good. Have we got a matching Morena? No, we don't. So we've got a Uniroyal. That's not great then. This being a four-wheel drive should have matching tyres on each axle. So we're going to have to correct this. That means we either need to buy another Uniroyal or another Zinedine Zidane or whatever it was called. I can't remember. Mazzini. That's it. Mazzini. Right, up front we've got a Continental Premium Contact. That's all good. On about 3mm. So on the tyre front, we're not doing brilliantly. Not doing terribly. No ling-longs. But it could be better. Bodywork wise is pretty good. Again, apart from being filthy, panel gaps are good. Same sort of gap all the way along, covered in bird muck and excrement. It's not too bad. We've also got both sets of keys as well. That's a good sign. Power folding mirrors, we certainly do. Inside, yeah, it does smell horsey actually. Needs a very good clean. But I've seen worse. On the bright side, it's quite a good spec. We've got full leather seats with electric memory seats, which is good. Auto lights, keyless start. Automatic, obviously, I knew that already. Got a piece of kitchen towel there. It is very, very grubby, very dirty, but it's kind of just your average family car, isn't it? I don't know why people don't clean the cars before they trade them in, because they would definitely get more money for them. I wonder if this is 7-seat, you know. I know this sounds a bit ignorant, but I don't know anything about these cars. I buy and sell cars all day long. You just have to keep buying them, keep saying yes, and hope for the best. I should really research them, but I don't often have time. We've got a National Trust receipt there from the 15th of April. No National Trust sticker, but National Trust receipt, which is the next best thing. We've got power tailgate, as I realised when I tried to yank it up. We've got a boot liner and a boot mat. Look at this. Oh, it is 7 seats. Okay. It's quite a desirable car then, isn't it, this? I imagine. This gets better, doesn't it? Well, apart from a very good clean, it's not bad. Power points in the boot. We've got a little torch there. Oh, I think I've just broken something. It looks like a torch, but I don't know. Yeah, I think we've just broken that. Now, I wonder what the service history is like. Should have asked that, shouldn't I, really? Let's have a look under the bonnet first. So this 2-litre engine is quite a good one. They've used them in all sorts. Got gas struts there, so that's good. It's all very grubby, but it's very original. I'm just doing a quick look now, quick cursory inspection. Just checking for obvious leaks, but I can't see any. Just checking the chassis legs are straight, no rust. It's all quite tidy, really. I'm also looking for a sticker to say the cam belt's been done. Under here has been a dead cat. What is that, do you reckon? It's like hair, fur. Where's that come from? It's all over the battery cover as well. It's weird. Anyway. Oh, we've got door protectors, look at that. So it's a bit like a Ford Focus that always snap off. Watch this, you watching? Why am I so impressed by things like that? Do you want to see it again or not? You satisfied? Quite impressed. I didn't know it had those. Service history then. Got a dirty glove box. The book pack is down here. Right. Again, filthy. Will this have a service book or will it have a print off? Who knows? I think the money I'm going to have to ask for this car, it needs to have some service history, really. And if it hasn't had a cam belt, I'm going to have to do one. I mean, it's 8 years old now, so you'd think it would have a cam belt, or it would have had one. Wouldn't you? Electric seats work. A little parking ticket little thing there. That was always quite good about Skodas. Right, this one is North Yorkshire Council. Been all over the place, haven't they, in this? We got any sunglasses? Nope. Okay. The sun visors feel a bit flimsy. The rest of the car actually feels quite good quality, but they feel really particularly cheap. Got a nice, I don't know what that is. Don't know what material that is, but it's quite nice. Let's fire up then, shall we? Start buttons on the column. Foot on brake. So it's done 86,142. We've got a bong already, informing me my AdBlue is low. Stings. Smells very horsey. That's fine though, we can let off one of those Airvidox odour bombs. Does my air conditioning work? Leave it a minute, shall we? Is that a wireless charging pad? I think it is. This is quite a decent car then, isn't it? Rochdale. They've been everywhere in this. Yeah, minging. But, just needs a clean. You know what the daft thing is? I think if the previous owners had just spent £20 on this, having a mini valet done, or done it on the driveway with a vacuum and a bucket of water, they could have probably got an extra £300 for it. Nobody bothers though. Do my windows work? 1, 2, 3, 4. All of those work. My mirrors work. We've got heated mirrors as well. Power tailgate. Nothing in my little drawer there. Only more mess. This is all right, actually. My air conditioning is getting nice and cool now, so that's good. We've got sat nav. Have we got a reverse camera? 9. We don't. What else? What have they been listening to? BBC Mank. Come on, give me the full screen. Radio. This has been somebody in their 50s. Late 50s, early 60s. Smooth Magic, Heart 70s, and a bit of classic. And Talk Sport. Jermaine Stewart, right. Right, let's go and take this for a spin then, shall we? Sorry, I can't stop doing that now. Now, I wonder if this later DSG box needs a service. The early ones did. Not many people bothered, and then they broke. I wonder if this later one is the same sort of system. Because some, I think, had like a dry sump and you couldn't service them. My air conditioning is nice and cool, so that's good. Feels quite nice, this, straight away. Steering feels very light, overly assisted, but it's what you want for a big family car like this. I thought that noise then was me. It was a Harley or something going past. I was thinking, oh dear, we've got a blowing exhaust already. Where should we go? I'll tell you what, we'll go this way. Right, basically then, I'm just checking, well, everything. Brakes, steering, making sure my gearbox is changing properly, which it is so far. Electric seats work. Now this being 190 brake horsepower, should be, well, kind of all the engine you need really. It's quite smooth, feels quite punchy. Steering feels nice. What's it like over bumps? Quite solid, it's not knocking. No rattles, no creaks, no squeaks. Ah, right, I think we need a windscreen. I didn't see that before because we were in bright sunshine. We've got a chip there that's led into probably a 1-inch crack, and then we've got another one right next to it. So we need a screen. That's going to be £300, isn't it? My budget's been eroded here, isn't it, quickly? New windscreen, and pray it isn't a big expensive one. This is the trouble now with modern cars, because they often have like light sensors, rain sensors, all sorts of sensors built into the screen. When you replace the windscreen, it isn't just a case of replacing the glass. You've got to, they're quite costly. On something very basic, you can be looking at maybe £200 for a new screen. On something like this, I suspect it could be £300–400. On my Range Rover, for example, because a bird dropped a stone on it over Christmas, that cost me £1,100 or something. Well, no, it was more. I think it was £1,400, whatever it was. I've tried to erase that from my memory because it makes me feel sick. This drives particularly well. In fact, so well, I'd happily drive around in it myself. It's very nice, actually. Very nice. So we've got heated seats. It's quite a good spec then, really. Go on then. You're halfway across my lane, so I might as well let you go. There you go. No wave. Unbelievable. No, this drives very well. We've got no sunroof though. If it were mine, I think I'd want a sunroof really. Let a bit more light in. With a very good clean though, this will be quite a nice car. So quick recap then, we need a new windscreen. We need 2 new rear tyres that match on the axle. Need to service, an MOT. I need to chase the main dealer as well, make sure the finance is paid before I pay. Needs a very good clean. And that's about it. Maybe it might be due a cam belt as well. If it hasn't been done, I think these have a 5-year interval, and it's 8 years old. It should have been done. I'm hoping it was done at 6 years or something, and then whoever buys it from me has got another 3 years or so without having to worry about it. I'm sure they're a 5-year interval. They might be 10 actually. Don't know. I'll check. I shall check and get back to you. But so far so good really. I'm mildly impressed. Mildly. I like the way it drives. You can see why people buy these kinds of cars. If the new Tiguan or Q5 drives like this, you can see why people... A Tekka, is that the same as this? No, I think that's smaller, isn't it? I think that's the one that's like a T-Rock, Karoq thing. Not sure. If anyone can solve the mystery that is the Volkswagen Audi Group lineup, then let me know in the comments below. It's all a bit of a mystery to me. They're all very similar. They're all usually grey in colour. You know, one thing I don't like about these later VW products, this infotainment system. Why not give me a volume knob? Do you know what I mean? Why is it a touchy button? I think then I'm going to head down to my mechanics, order a new windscreen, and then book it in for its service. I need to speak to the main dealer about the finance and also chase them up about the service history. We need to see whether it's had its cam belt done, see when its last service was due. I suspect it was probably done in January when it was MOT'd. Because when we started it didn't come up with a warning to say service due, Ashtung, did it? It just said AdBlue due. So we'll go and stick some AdBlue in it. AdBlue's minging stuff, by the way. Don't get it on your shoes or your hands. Take your skin off. I know I've just said this about this car, but it is a bit of a pleasure to use, actually. It's nice and smooth and quiet and refined. I think I'm quite used to driving my old manual S4 now, which as much as I love, you have to drive it. Whereas this kind of drives for you. Anyway then, right, leave this with me for, how long are we going to need with this? A week? Windscreen, tyres, service, clean. Give me a week. Give me a week. Should we set ourselves a budget? We should do, really, shouldn't we? I paid 14 grand for it. I think it's worth 17, so 3 grand gross margin. 2 tyres are going to be £80 each. That's 160. Service is probably the same. The windscreen is going to be the big one. I'll tell you what, let's give ourselves a budget of 750. If I can have this all prepared for £750, then we'll have a profit of 2250. Pre-tax, pre-VAT, all that stuff, but still, 2250. That wouldn't be the end of the world, would it? Right, give me a week then, and I'll have this spun round. See you then. And we're back in my cheap Skoda Kodiaq, which is now all sorted and ready for sale. I have spent a bit more on it than I thought, though. The biggest expense was the windscreen. If you remember, it had a couple of little chips in it that were starting to spread to cracks. I thought, I can't sell a car like this with chips in the windscreen, so that was replaced. But due to the fact it's got various sensors and stuff built into it, it wasn't cheap. It wasn't as pricey as the one in my L460, but it was still dear. After we last spoke, I took this down to my mechanics for a service, an MOT, and a new windscreen. Once the windscreen was fitted, they gave it a service, it did a general check over, and it turned out it needed new brake disc pads and a couple of tyres. So like I say, my bill there was quite a lot. Close to £1,000 actually. Still, that was about it, and it's a nice car now, it's all properly sorted. So I still think I've got some profit here, which is the name of the game, isn't it? Once it was done at my mechanics, all it needed then was just a proper clean. So I took it to Tameside Detailing for a proper valet. If you remember, it was quite grubby, wasn't it? It was a bit, I think I described it as a bit horsey. Anyway, a couple of days later, I picked it up from Tameside Detailing, and all the horsiness is gone. The ponies have left the stable. Not sure where I'm going with that. It is now as clean as a whistle, so I got it back to work, photographed it, and that's that. I've done my advert, so it's now live. I'm pretty sure it'll sell quite quickly. Because the mileage is up there a little bit, it's done 86,000 miles, it is an attractive price. You know, had this done like half the miles, then the price would be about 5 grand more. So it is quite attractive. I don't want to get carried away, but I think it'll sell quite quickly. And these kinds of cars as well should have a decent part exchange that I can go on with again. That's the best bit about this job sometimes. Sometimes you'll sell a car that you've only got £1,000 profit in, which is okay, I'm not complaining. But then it'll bring in a part exchange that you'll have 2.5 grand profit in. Then before you know it, the whole deal's earned you quite a substantial amount of money. What we're going to do now then is park up in my favourite little lay-by and talk you through my costs, and we'll work out how much profit I've got left. I'm not usually a massive fan of Volkswagen Group products, to be honest, especially something like this, but I've been impressed with this. So much so, if I was in the market for this kind of car, I don't see why I wouldn't buy one. It does everything really well, especially this one, because it's a nice spec. Right, let's pull over then, and we'll get our calculators out. Job done. Right, if you remember then, I paid £14,000 for this car, which might not sound cheap, but it is cheap for one of these. So £14,000 plus the bill at my mechanics. So it had an oil filter, oil, MOT test fee, front brake disc, front brake pads, tyres, windscreen, labour. My total bill there was £942 and 12 pence. Then we've got the cost of the valet, that was £70. Was there anything else? That's all it's had, and it's come up looking really good. quite a short one then today, isn't it? Although the numbers aren't. I've spent over £1,000 on this, so the total is £15,012 and 12 pence. Now I've got this advertised for, let me just check, I think I put it on at 16,495. Just bear with me, talk amongst yourselves. There we go, right, Skoda Kodiaq 2-litre TDI edition DSG 4-wheel drive 7-seat. I've got it advertised for 16,795. So if we can get anywhere near that, I'll have made a profit of around £1,700 or £1,800, which is pretty good, isn't it? It's not a great return on investment, to be honest, after you spent £15,000. We're talking just over 10%, but it's not bad, I'm not complaining. And like I say, hopefully this will attract a decent part exchange that we can retail again and double the profit. That's the plan, that's what I hope. Anyway, thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. I'll leave the links below. Yeah, cheers guys. I'll see you next time.